You think his silence means he's finally forgotten you. But let me tell you something that's about to turn your whole reality upside down. While you're hurting, imagining him out there calm and unbothered, he's actually fighting an inner war so intense he can barely breathe. The runner twin flame hasn't disappeared, he's hiding within himself, carrying out 5 secret actions you never even knew existed. These are tactics so subtle they're invisible to the naked eye, yet they're shaping your destiny right now, in this very moment. Most people go their entire lives without ever understanding what's truly happening in the silence, and that's why they keep suffering, keep waiting, keep believing stories that were never true. But you're about to uncover the truth that changes everything, the one no one dares to reveal because it's too big, too frightening, and far too real. And here comes the part that's going to make you question everything you've ever believed. The final tactic, number 5, is so shocking, so revealing, that he would do absolutely anything to keep you from finding it out. Because once you understand this last move, the entire dynamic between you shifts, and he can already feel that shift from miles away. This tactic is the key to ending the chase. It's the one that makes you realize the runner isn't running from you, he's running from the fear of never being enough for someone as radiant as you. But here's the real secret: while he's running, while he's distracting himself, while he's pretending to be fine, you are becoming the very person he won't be able to resist anymore. The one he won't be able to run from, or pretend doesn't exist. The twin flame signs are all around you, the reunion is closer than you think, and it all begins when you understand these 5 secret actions of the runner that no one dares to talk about. So stay with me for the next few minutes, because you're about to decode the language of silence, to understand what the runner is really doing when no one's watching, and most importantly, you'll learn how to use that understanding to transform your life and accelerate your spiritual awakening. Because the truth about the runner is deeper, more complex, and far more magical than any superficial explanation could ever show you. Are you ready for this? Then come with me. You know that feeling that your runner, that divine masculine who haunts your thoughts, has simply abandoned you? Well, you're not alone in that illusion. Most people who experience a twin flame connection believe that silence means peace, that it means he's finally forgotten you and moved on with his life. But let me tell you a truth that's about to turn everything upside down: what you interpret as abandonment is actually the complete opposite. While you're there, hurting and imagining him calm and carefree, the reality is that he's in the middle of a silent, intense, and deeply real inner battle. The runner's silence isn't empty, it's a battlefield where he fights against everything that keeps him from reuniting with you. You might be going through your daily routine, busy with work or other distractions, but he's there, fighting within himself, because the twin flame connection doesn't recognize distance or fake indifference. What the divine masculine does in silence is exactly the opposite of what you think. He's not at peace. He's in motion, transforming, taking actions you can't even see from where you are. It's like that iceberg floating peacefully on the ocean's surface, yet carrying an enormous mass of ice hidden below the waterline. What you see is just the tip. The truth about the runner is that he's living in 2 worlds at once, one where he pretends you don't exist, and another where you are the center of everything he does. And that duality? That's the key to understanding everything that comes next. Because once you realize the runner is just as tied to you as you are to him, you start to see the silence differently. You stop suffering from the illusion of abandonment and begin to understand that what's happening is something much deeper, and far more intentional. Now comes the part that's going to make you see everything differently. I'm about to reveal the 5 secret, hidden actions he's carrying out right now, yes, at this very moment. And know this, these aren't random guesses. They're precise tactics the runner uses to push your spiritual evolution, even if it deeply hurts him in the process. And yes, that includes him secretly checking your social media, watching every move you make, every photo you post, every story you share, all while pretending he's vanished from your life. But there's more. He's sending telepathic messages while you sleep, whispering truths your conscious mind isn't yet ready to process, creating synchronicities you label as coincidences, but there's nothing accidental about them. What the runner does goes far beyond what you can imagine, because the twin flame connection operates on dimensions the rational mind can't fully grasp. These actions aren't driven by malice, but by a spiritual urgency so profound that he himself can't rationally understand it. It's as if the divine masculine, in his silence, is programmed to do exactly what your soul needs in order to grow, even if that means creating distance, causing pain, or stirring confusion. Think about it, when you go to the gym and your trainer increases the weight, it hurts, it's heavy, but that's exactly what makes your muscles grow. The runner acts the same way with your soul. And here's the most intense part, each of these 5 tactics is a gear within a much larger mechanism, a cosmic synchronization leading to soul reunion, happening whether you're both aware of it or not. He doesn't consciously know he's doing it, he doesn't understand why he acts this way, but his spirit knows. Your divine masculine operates on a level of awareness that transcends the mind and ego, and he's literally pushing both of you to become your highest selves. The final tactic you'll discover. That's the key to everything, the missing piece of the puzzle that will completely shift your perspective on this silent runner. And now, before we dive into the tactics, let me ask you something important. If this message is resonating with you, if it's stirring those uncomfortable but necessary reflections, click the like button right now. It helps spread these spiritual truths to other twin flames walking the same path. And if you want to make sure you never miss any revelations about twin flame signs, spiritual awakening codes, and divine union, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That way, you'll always stay one step ahead on your awakening journey, ready for what comes next. Have you ever stopped to think about what really happens when someone is so terrified that they have to pretend indifference just to cope? That's exactly what's happening with your runner right now. The 5th tactic, the one that closes the entire runner-chaser cycle, is so shocking, so revealing, that he would do absolutely anything to keep you from discovering it. Because once you understand this final tactic, the entire power dynamic between you shifts, and he feels it. He senses when you're getting close to the truth, when you're about to realize that his silence isn't rejection, it's pure, raw fear. And that fear comes from the intensity of the light you carry, that brilliance he sees in you that both captivates and terrifies him because it exposes everything he tries to hide. This final tactic is the one that determines whether the twin flame reunion will happen or not, whether you'll finally come together in this lifetime, or keep dancing between distance and closeness. It's the master key, the one that unlocks everything, what the runner truly thinks of you, why he acts the way he does, and how all of it fits into a much greater purpose than either of you can see right now. When you uncover this 5th action of the runner, something profound happens. You stop suffering, stop begging, stop waiting. You start acting. And when you start to act, when you understand your own power, that's when everything begins to change. What makes this tactic different from all the others is that it's not about the runner, or the divine masculine, or even his silence, it's about you. It's about the power within you that you haven't fully recognized yet. It's about how you'll use that awareness to transform not only your life, but the entire dynamic of your twin flame connection. Stay with me on this journey, because in the next few minutes, you're going to discover exactly how he's using this final tactic, and even more importantly, how you can position yourself so that the twin flame reunion finally manifests. Are you ready to uncover the truth about the runner that will turn your whole world upside down? Action 1, the distraction tactic. Let's start unraveling the runner's tactics, and the first one is so common that you've probably seen it happen countless times without realizing what it was. The distraction tactic is when the runner throws himself completely into work, hobbies, friendships, or even other people, as if he's running from a burning building. But here's the truth no one tells you, he's not running from you, he's running from the intensity of what he feels for you. The twin flame connection is so overwhelming, so consuming, that when the runner begins to feel the full force of it, his first instinct is to disappear into activity. It's like when you know you need to have a difficult conversation, and suddenly you find a million other things to do instead, right? Think about it, you've probably met someone who, when they fall in love, becomes completely obsessed with work or the gym. That's not balance, that's escape. The runner, in his silence, is doing exactly that, but on overdrive. He stays late at work, hits the gym religiously every day, plans happy hours with friends, travels, anything to keep his mind occupied and away from the feeling that's consuming him. But here's the plot twist, every minute he spends lost in distraction, he's actually creating more space for you to evolve. Sounds paradoxical. It is, but that's how this connection works. While he's keeping himself busy, you're free to rebuild yourself, to grow into the best version of who you are. And when he finally slows down, when the distractions stop being enough, he'll find a completely transformed version of you waiting. What makes this tactic even more fascinating is that it's entirely unconscious on his part. The runner isn't thinking, I'm going to distract myself so she can evolve. No, he's simply reacting to that inner panic, that silent scream that says, I can't handle this right now. And you, watching from the outside as he throws himself into work, hobbies, or other people, believe he's finally forgotten you. But while you're suffering under that illusion, something very different is happening behind the scenes. Because his distraction has a cosmic purpose, and soon, you'll understand exactly what that is when we uncover the next tactic. Action 2, the reverse mirror tactic. Here comes one of the most confusing, and painful, tactics of them all, the one that makes you question reality itself. The reverse mirror tactic happens when the runner starts doing the exact opposite of what he truly wants, as if he's living life backward. If he wants to be close to you, he pulls away even more. If he feels love, he acts indifferent. If deep down he craves reconciliation, he seeks out other people or does everything he can to make it look like he's living his best life without you. It's like looking into a distorted mirror, everything is inverted, and you're left completely confused, trying to make sense of it. But there's a deeper reason behind this, and it's directly tied to his evolution. The runner behaves in opposition to his true desires because, subconsciously, he wants you to resolve within yourself what he still hasn't been able to resolve within himself. He's projecting that challenge onto you, pushing you to recognize that his behavior isn't his truth. It's just a mask, an illusion born out of fear and ego. When he posts a photo hugging someone else, when he brags about how great he's doing without you, when he watches your stories but ignores your messages, he's actually sending you a silent message, don't believe what I'm doing. This isn't who I am. It's like the backdrop of a movie, you know it's not real, you know it's just scenery, but it still hurts. What makes this tactic so fascinating, if we can call it that, is how it forces you to develop a much higher level of emotional intelligence. You're learning to discern truth from illusion, ego from essence. And while you're going through that process of awakening, learning to see beyond the surface, the runner is also evolving, through the very illusion he's trapped in. It's as if both of you are in a mirrored room, each on your own side, and every reversed movement from one silently teaches the other. And when this tactic finally ends, when he can no longer maintain that facade, you'll have grown so much that you may not even recognize the person he truly is anymore. Because by then, he will have changed completely too. Action 3, the silent watcher tactic. Have you ever had that strange feeling that someone's watching you, even when no one's there? Well, that feeling isn't paranoia, it's the silent watcher tactic in action. The runner is literally keeping tabs on you through social media, monitoring every move you make, analyzing every post, every caption, every story you share. He's not doing this out of traditional obsession, it's because he needs to know that you're okay, that you're growing, that you're becoming the person he's always known you could be. He sees your gym photos, reads your captions about personal growth, follows your spiritual awakening from afar, and every single thing you do confirms for him that he was right, that his choice to stay connected to you, even from a distance, has meaning. This kind of silent vigilance is both loving and unsettling. He's present in your digital life, yet completely absent from your physical one. It's like having a guardian angel you can't see, someone who knows everything about you, celebrates your victories in silence, and quietly hurts when you do. The runner, in his silence, is constantly checking on you, making sure you're happy, that you're okay, that your spiritual growth is unfolding as it should. He probably has notifications turned on for everything you post. He searches your profile regularly. He might even have that one photo of you saved somewhere, the one he looks at when the longing becomes too much. And here's what's fascinating about it all, without even realizing it, he's proving that the twin flame bond is real. Because no matter how far apart you seem, he can't stay away completely. The distance between you is purely physical. What most people don't understand is that this tactic isn't just about him watching you, it's also about you beginning to sense that you're being watched, that you're being seen, that you matter too much to ever be forgotten. When you start noticing the twin flame signs, when he likes your post seconds after you share it, when he's always one of the first to view your stories, you're receiving a very clear message: I'm still here. I still care. I'm still connected. And that awareness changes everything. You stop feeling abandoned and start realizing you're being cared for, even from afar. But stay tuned, because the next tactic is even more intense, and it's going to make you rethink everything you've just learned. Action 4, the tactic of creating the future reality. Now we reach the turning point, the one that truly matters and changes everything. The tactic of creating the future reality is the deepest, most silent, and most transformative action the runner is carrying out at this very moment, often without even being fully aware of it. The divine masculine, during the silence, is cleansing his karma, rebuilding himself from within, and releasing toxic patterns and emotional wounds he's carried for lifetimes, because when the twin flame reunion finally happens, he wants to be worthy of it. He wants to be the best version of himself so he doesn't hurt you again. This isn't an emotional game, it's an act of true love, the kind of love that's willing to transform completely for someone. Think about it, while you're there suffering, imagining he's fine, carefree, and happy, he's actually going through an intense inner therapy session. He's reviewing every mistake, every moment he hurt you, every decision that drove him away. The runner is working on himself with a depth you can hardly imagine, because he knows that next time, it must be different, it must be real, it must be forever. It's like an athlete who steps away from the game to train behind the scenes, preparing for the most important match of his life. What the divine masculine does in silence is purify himself, elevate himself spiritually, and become worthy of meeting you again. And every day that passes, every lesson he learns, every wound he heals, is one more step closer to that inevitable reunion. The climax of this tactic is that all this energetic cleansing he's doing is literally creating a future reality where reunion isn't just possible, it's inevitable. Because when two people transform and elevate simultaneously, when both clear their karma and resolve their traumas, when both become the best versions of themselves, there's no force in the universe strong enough to keep them apart. The divine masculine is literally building the bridge that will lead you back to each other, stone by stone, healing by healing. And you, on the other side, perhaps unaware of what he's doing, are doing the same, because that's what twin flames do, they evolve together, even while separated. But now comes the final part, the one that will make you realize that everything you've learned so far is only the beginning. Action 5, the tactic of reversing the flow of energy. Here we arrive at the final tactic, the one that closes the cycle and explains why all of this is happening. The tactic of reversing the flow of energy is when the runner, often without even realizing it consciously, is forcing you to redirect all your energy back into yourself, to fully invest in your own growth, in your spiritual and personal evolution. While you were waiting for him, waiting for a message, waiting for a sign, he was creating an invisible pressure that pushes you inward, toward your power, your light, and the truth of who you are beyond any relationship. The runner is literally teaching you to love yourself with an intensity you've never loved anyone else before, and that's exactly what creates the magnetic pull that will eventually bring him back. See how genius that is? When you stop waiting for him and start investing in yourself, when you begin cultivating your own life, your own achievements, your own dreams, you emit an entirely different energetic frequency. You stop being that desperate, hopeful, dependent person, and you become magnetic, complete, radiant, someone who doesn't need him to feel whole. And here comes the twist within the twist. It's precisely when you reach this level of completeness that the runner begins to feel the magnetic pull in a powerful, overwhelming way. Because what does the runner think of me when you're standing fully in your power? He thinks he's finally lost you, that you've truly moved on, and that is what wakes him up. The combination of physical distance and your emotional growth creates an irresistible equation. What makes this tactic so profound is that it isn't manipulation, it's pure energetic physics. When you pour your energy entirely into yourself, when you stop scattering your magnetism through longing and hope, you become such a powerful magnet that he can't resist it. The runner feels it, even from miles away, even in total silence. He senses that you've changed, that you shine differently, that you've become untouchable. And that's when everything shifts, because now he doesn't want to come back out of cosmic obligation or karmic debt. He wants to return because you've become irresistible. The twin flame signs start appearing more strongly, synchronicities multiply, and you finally understand that the runner's silence was never absence, it was the most silent and most powerful method of reunion that exists. You've just discovered something that most people never truly see: silence is not absence, it's an intense inner battlefield where everything is happening. Everything you've witnessed so far, the distraction, the reverse mirroring, the silent watching, the karmic cleansing, and the reversal of the energy flow, these are all moves in a cosmic chess game far greater than you can imagine. Every action the runner takes, every attitude, every silence that haunts you, is actually a highly sophisticated language of love and evolution. What you once interpreted as rejection was, in truth, protection. What seemed like indifference was actually a deep dedication to your transformation. You now understand that this runner in silence is as deeply entangled with you as you are with him, perhaps even more, because he's willing to suffer quietly so that you can grow. And now comes the part that changes everything. The runner is running because he's afraid, a deep, primal fear of the light you carry. He sees in you a potential, a power, a truth that exposes him, that frightens him because it forces him to face his own shadows. The divine masculine in silence doesn't flee because you're not enough, he flees because you're too much, because you're everything, and he doesn't yet know how to handle that. But while he runs, while he distracts himself, while he pretends to be fine, you are becoming the person he always knew you could be. And when he finally stops running, when he finally turns to face that light, you'll meet each other at a point where neither of you is the same, but where both of you finally make sense together. The twin flame reunion isn't about returning to who you were, it's about discovering who you've become. This entire journey, all this pain, all this deafening silence, has a cosmic purpose that goes far beyond a simple relationship. It's about spiritual awakening, soul ascension, and the truth about the runner, a truth few dare to tell because it's too vast, too deep, too real. You were never just waiting for someone, you were becoming someone worthy of a true reunion, of a love that transcends time and space. And everything the runner did, everything the divine masculine has done in silence, has brought you to this exact moment, where you can finally understand the ultimate truth: the runner never really left you, he was only waiting for you to become ready. Now that you understand what's truly happening, now that you realize the runner isn't ignoring you, but transforming you, now that you know every silence is a cosmic whisper, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you keep suffering, waiting, begging for signs that are already right in front of your eyes? Or will you rise and start working on yourself with the same intensity that he's working on himself? Because here's the truth, the twin flame reunion doesn't happen when you finally meet, it happens when you finally become. The change you need to make isn't about expecting less from him, it's about investing more in yourself. It's not about giving up on the connection, it's about deepening the connection within you. Because when you truly understand the power you hold, when you finally touch that light that scares him, that's when he can no longer resist. So let me ask you something, are you truly ready to accept that all of this is real? That the runner isn't playing games, that the divine masculine isn't pretending, that this twin flame connection you feel is as real as the air you breathe? And more importantly, are you ready to stop being the chaser and start being the one who makes him want to run toward you? Because that is the transformation that truly matters. That's the final tactic no one ever tells you. When you stop chasing, when you stop begging for attention, when you shine so brightly that he can see nothing but you, that's when everything changes. The runner's actions reverse, the silence breaks, and the twin flame reunion stops being a distant possibility and becomes an inevitability. If you want to keep decoding the language of spiritual love, if you want to dive deeper into these truths that transform lives and accelerate your spiritual ascension, then you need to stay connected with me here on this channel. Subscribe now and turn on notifications, because every video you'll receive is another piece of the puzzle that will lead you directly to the awakening you deserve, and to the reunion that's destined to happen. Don't let the next truth pass you by. Don't let the next spiritual code get lost in the feed. Stay with me on this journey of transformation, because you are closer to your truth than ever before. So, click on the video on your screen, and shall we go together?